All right, we are live.
Live with a Walt Vault.
The very same.
Hey everyone, welcome to Two Hacks talking about the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Park, which is mind-blowing. I'm RT Bear, and who are you?
I'm Tag, and I'll be reading the chat today for anybody who wants to join in on our conversation about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
This thing is, I'm going to say mind-blowing a lot, but this thing is mind-blowing. I cannot believe, the more footage we see, Taylor, the more I'm just in awe of this whole thing. So, are they seeing this image right now?
Yeah, so this is the size comparison we found.
Okay. Should we tease a little bit of what we have, though, in store for them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's tease. All right, we found some aerial footage, you guys, of the Galaxy's Edge Park, and it's not just like a million miles away helicopter footage. I don't know what kind of cameras they have, but they're getting almost ground level. I don't know, how would you describe it? They can zoom in almost ground level. Like, you can see people and details on the ground with these cameras, right?
Yeah, it's the best footage I think we've seen. And of course, you know, like Fresh Bake has been providing really good footage, but this is very professional. It's very close.
This is better than the stuff I've seen on Fresh Bake, actually. And oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I gotta brag about ourselves for a minute. I think we scooped even Fresh Bake on the robot.
We did. We were one of the first to drop that.
Yeah, because I just now saw that he posted that. So we are getting you some of this stuff before anybody else. So we're doing our job here.
And this video that we're going to show you, it gives you like a good sense of scale. Like, I didn't really understand the scale of it until I saw this video.
The 14 acres?
Yes.
Okay, so Taylor found this. And this will give you a 14-acre comparison to some of the other parks that are considered, I guess, similar, right, in theming, where it's all-encompassing based on a movie franchise, I guess, like Harry Potter or Avatar.
Yeah, it's been compared to Avatar probably the most, but I think Harry Potter might be a more fair comparison.
As far as the theming, yeah.
And this, the Hogsmeade is the Orlando, Florida park. And it's, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the biggest one, but these two are probably the closest in size. And Tiny Diagon Alley is the one, the Harry Potter park and the Universal Studios over by where we are in California. And of course, Pandora is in Orlando as well.
Yeah, and the Galaxy's Edge in Florida is going to be 14 acres as well. So when Florida does something and it's the same size as California, you know it's big in size because there's tons of room in Florida to build. And theirs is 14 acres, the same as the California version. So it's a substantial sized park. And like Taylor said, it's comparable to Hogsmeade, and so you know that's pretty good size, because that I want to visit that Hogsmeade. I don't want to go to Diagon Alley, the one here in California, but if I was going to get excited about any of the Harry Potter parks, it would be that Hogsmeade, because they also have a train.
Oh, definitely. Which J.K. Rowling apparently, supposedly, the rumor is that she demanded a train. That was like her one big stipulation. And when she was making the deal with Disney, she said she wanted the train. They say they couldn't provide it to her, so she walked. And that's how, apparently, Universal scooped her up to build.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know this until... Did we talk about it in a Walt's Vault that Disney did have the rights to the Harry Potter for the theme park at one point?
Did.
Yeah, they did before Universal... And I believe that there was a Harry Potter themed park somewhere in the Midwest or something, even before Universal and before Disney.
I know in England they had a really small Diagon Alley that they were like advertising.
Was it in England then?
When I was over there, but I think it was tiny. I think it was like a little pop-up type thing.
Yeah, this was tiny, but it looked pretty good. I mean, they were substantial builts. You know what I mean? Like they weren't just like props or like what do they call those?
Like facades?
Yeah, facade. Yeah, they were real buildings. But anyways, yeah, so the story has it that Disney and Rawlings were in cahoots, and then her criteria was, and this was for the Disney park in California, she wanted a train like Taylor said, but she also wanted a castle.
Oh, really?
So let's just back up for a minute. Why would you even talk to Disney if those are the two things you wanted?
They already have those things.
Yeah, they already have those two things. What, we're going to have a castle in a place that already has a castle? We're going to have a train in a place that already has a train? So I think she picked the right park, which is the Universal parks. But we do have Walt's Vault fans, and I do have a Walt's Vault connection to the Disney park here, and I know the two lead engineers that work on the actual railroad at the Disney California location. Very cool. And whenever I talk about the Hogsmeade train, Taylor, they always go, "That's not a real train." They go, "It was just built on the top, like a diesel truck or something like that. Like, it's just like all fiberglass and stuff." He goes, "The trains here at Disneyland, these are real steam-driven locomotives, and they take great pride in that." So yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I don't know, they invited us, Taylor, so we'll probably be able to go. We'll see how many people we can get in.
That'd be awesome.
To take a train ride, and there's a caboose car, and it was built after Walt's death that his wife built, and it was for I guess wooing A-list people, like actors. Ooh. Or like rock stars, I don't know, heads of state, things like that. And so he said that would be the car that we would ride in.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Can we live stream?
I don't know if they'll let us have cameras. There's certain restrictions, but I got to call that guy on it. So far, I think it's Kurt, me, Kurt's wife, and my wife. But we'll see how many
you guys
others.
Take some pictures.
Yeah,
in the
we
least.
can get in. So we'll try to get you in too.
Justin Kelly, aka Pokemac, says, "I'm gonna lose my mind when I see the Millennium Falcon. A football field is 1.3 acres, just for scale." And he says Disney doesn't just hand out castles.
Exactly, and good observation. So should we just get in on this video?
Let's get into it.
Because I want. Who was that in the chat?
That was Justin Kelly, aka Pokemac.
Well, Pokemac, wait till you see this. This, like I said, man. When sometimes people say this is gonna blow your mind, like it's just hyperbole, right?
This really will.
This blew my mind.
And keep in mind, this is the California location. This isn't the
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah. And so we'll talk over this. There's no narration, but there you go, man.
This is via She's in Los Angeles. Wow.
But look at that footage. It's so crystal clear.
Yeah, this is really professional. Look, you can see a guy walking around for scale. There's a couple workers.
All right, you guys, that's a full-size Millennium Falcon. This is no messing around. Do you see the cockpit too, Taylor? It's transparent.
Ooh, can you go in there?
You can see in there.
There's a guy with one of the best jobs in the world.
Yes. I also have a theory of how they're going to move people through this park. But remember how we were saying that it's going to be different levels?
Oh, you can see stairs right here.
Yeah, there's stairs right there. Yeah, so it's not all going to be flat. There's different levels to things.
So this is close to being finished.
Yeah.
Looks like they got a little bit of plant life. But yeah, just for scale, that's what blew my mind.
Yeah, look at this. And see this around the back of the Millennium Falcon? I think that's going to be observational. So I think that's all going to be open. So that's part of the queue. So while you're waiting in line, you'll be able to see the whole top of the Millennium Falcon as you're walking around it.
I think we read about that where they said that'd be the place you can take pictures and stuff because the queue takes you.
Yeah, but wait, there's more to this. See this right down here in this corner?
Over here?
That's open, Taylor.
What is that? Is that the queue?
I think that's still the queue. Yeah, at the bottom right-hand corner, you guys, there's another shot of it later. But I think that's open queue. So they're probably, Taylor, right here, if you can do with your, it'll probably zigzag. You know how lines kind of come in and out?
Yeah, they'll probably have the rope set up.
But as you're right along this wall right here, you'll get a frontal shot, not just a back shot, from around the back here.
This is
observational.
up, right?
Yeah, that's up high. It may
Wow.
even be up higher than the other one was.
So you probably go in through here and end up...
I think you'll probably walk the back of the Millennium Falcon first over to that that deck. Oh shoot, there's so much. There's so much. Look at this. I didn't see that before.
This is cool.
Yeah, and that's First Order, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Wow.
I want to show you too, Taylor. There's going to be another. I speculated that there's going to be 3 ways in and out, but this video actually gives me full-on proof that there is.
Well, Justin said, I heard they're identical except Florida has 2 entrances and California has 1.
I think there's going to be 3, and I'll show you. And Taylor, if you could, yeah, get on where we can pause it, but not right now, but when we get over to there.
All right, just let me know. So this is the bazaar, right?
I think it's one of them, yeah.
And you can see how big that entryway is with those guys standing there.
Yeah, you get a sense of scope.
Let me see. Gateway into Comics says, this is so cool. I wish Han and Luke were still around to see it.
Oh, man.
Aww.
That would... Well, Han is, but... Okay, right over... See this right here? I don't... Can they see your cursor?
Yeah, you guys can see my cursor, right?
Okay, so, yeah, swirl it around. I think that's one of the exits. And see if you can see it, you can follow it. It goes under the train and out to here.
Oh, wait a minute.
See right there?
Okay, you guys can see my cursor.
Yeah, it's right here. Put your cursor on there. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
right
where
there.
That's where it exits. And
so
this
it goes through underneath and right here.
Right. And so then Fantasyland is over to the top right side. So should we speculate at this point? Well, you know what? I will, since I have this. There's been talk that there is going to be no time limits on the park. I think this is the smartest idea I've heard so far. So when you enter the park, because if there's time limits, or if there's like, you can go in the park from this time to this time, we're talking about Galaxy's Edge, not Disney as a whole, then there's going to be a time limit. Like, you know, you'll have a wristband, and the wristband, if it's green, then you have from this time to this time. Or if it's blue, then you have this time to this time. So I don't think they're going to do that, because if they do that like we speculated last Walt's Vault, Taylor, is that there's going to be a line. You know what I mean? People with the, if they let in the green, then the people with the blue are already going to be waiting in line.
That's
right. You know, maybe even for an hour or so. And Disney can't have that, because those are going to be in heavy trafficked area. Sorry. And so they can't have that. So the theory I heard, and I totally agree with this, is there won't be a time limit to get in. So they'll just let anybody in and walk through. But as soon as you go, because the only ride that's going to be open initially is going to be Smuggler's Run. And that's the one with the Millennium Falcon that we're looking at on the top here, middle top. And so the speculation is that as soon as you go on that ride, then you will be asked to leave that section of Disney. So if you look at it, it kind of does track around
through here
to the exit
and out right here.
Yeah. So I think that it could make sense that they'll track you out, and that maybe they'll do it in theme where they'll have, you know, maybe stormtroopers like move along,
so
you know,
organically
kind of thing.
When you come in, you'll have a chance to check out the bazaar and the restaurants and stuff before you get to this ride, theoretically.
Right. Well, right here, the bottom center, right there, that's the other way in. So you come through here, like you go, that's part of it, through the I guess it's all under the tracks, because all of this stuff is behind the railroad tracks. And so you go through another cave, and then you go out to the bazaar. So there's an entrance over here to like First Order area. And then there's here, which is the bazaar. And then there's the one the far left, which is over by the Hungry Bear restaurant, which is closer to the Smuggler's Run.
Which you'll see probably in the zoom out.
And I think like this, the right side over there is probably the right lower area here is probably more First Order heavy. And then the opposite's going to be on the left side, which will probably be more of the Resistance.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's what it seems like so far, because I haven't seen stormtroopers over on the other side of the park yet. Should we keep showing?
Yeah, let's see if they zoom in. Oh, here we go.
Okay, so you can see the cave more here and the entrance over here.
Yeah, that for sure is one of the entrance/exits.
And the other cave, the one that's centered lower, that's where you got sick. That's where that barbecue place used to be.
Where the goats took care of me.
And the goats, yes.
I'll always be.
But see, there's the deck. Pause it. Pause it and go back a little bit. Go back just a little bit. Right over on the right side. Yeah, see how it's open?
So you can go underneath.
I think you'll go on top.
And then you can go on top. Because there's railing.
I don't think you'll go underneath it. I think what you'll do is you'll come around, you'll sweep around here, go through a cave, and then you'll come out here. And then you'll zigzag in that open.
So is this a door or is this just decoration?
I think it's just decoration. I think that's not level, Taylor. That's above you. So I think you're reading this as the same level as this. This is under that.
Oh, okay.
That's an arch. That's kind of an archway.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking it's all in the same.
Yeah, so I think what this black section over here that's open, I think that'll probably just be a zigzag line. You know how they kind of scissor you back and forth through a line? So I think it's going to be that. But if you just go right, look right, if you were right here, you have a perfect shot of the front of the Millennium Falcon all the way back.
So really, this is probably where you're going to be sitting for like the hour and a half wait, at least in this section.
Yeah, and throughout the whole thing. But the cool part about that is it's almost like an observation area that you can get a front-on shot of the Millennium Falcon, you know, once you're at that rail part.
The perfect photo spot.
Yeah, I think it is the perfect photo spot, yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Look at the weathering on this. And like you said, we should have probably known that you were going to see it from this view by how heavily painted and done up this top is.
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely for people to observe it.
And that cave, the cave on the top part might be part of the queue. But you're not going to enter the Millennium Falcon, that outside one. I think what they're going to do is they're going to have a virtual one or one inside that you go in. Because you actually get to walk through the Millennium Falcon.
Look how big these archways are. Like, just for scale of how small this guy looks.
Yeah, and from what I hear, there's going to be real open areas, and then there's going to be really claustrophobic areas. And I think the reason they're doing that psychologically is the little claustrophobic areas are going to be like places you're not supposed to go. You know what I mean? Because last Wald's Fault we talked about was like to get the lightsabers and some of the other stuff. It almost seems like it's illegal activity.
Yeah.
So the shops are really small, and the way you get into them is kind of like hidden. So there's going to be a little bit of mystery, and I guess like that you're doing questionable stuff.
Sneaking around.
Yeah, you're skulking about.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. And this is part of that pathway.
Right here. So this is
to that exit.
Up.
Yeah.
What are they doing over here?
What is that First Order vehicle? Is it like over in the top right?
I thought it was a troop transport.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, because there's another one on the other side that looked like a troop transport, but it looked like the rebel or the resistance one. It was like blue and white.
So are we speculating that that's probably where those stormtroopers came in, right? So the presence is that troop carrier probably just landed there, right? And that some of the troops from that are kind of checking out Batu for any kind of illegal activity, right?
That's what it seems like. Let's see. They have a square disc. They have a square dish on the Falcon.
Yeah, the satellite thing, yeah.
Wow, this like gets in real close.
But this will be cool if there's no planters and stuff, so you can go right up to the walls.
Yeah, I like that the planters are more centered. They're not just like against things, kind of.
Yeah, so you can kind of walk right up to the walls and everything.
Keeping you away instead.
There's one of those.
Oh, the levels.
The levels. I think that is that right.
This looks high up because look at how many stairs there are there.
Yeah. No, this is gonna be amazing. Like a ramp. I'm not for sure, but I think this is that Ronto's roasters.
Oh,
yeah.
I think you're right.
Because I think behind that's the open area to eat, but we'll see as they pull back.
So they have a ramp here, and then they have the stairs on either side.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, because there's that stop. Can you point? That's where the open air area to eat is.
This
the
is
dining
the open
area.
dining?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and there's that, it's right next to that, oh gosh, what is it called? It's like 34, Hangar 34 or whatever, which is the other more buffet style one.
Yeah, didn't you say that ship is what's bringing in the food or the supplies or something like that? Didn't you speculate, or was it something you read?
In our last video, in one of the articles, it said that it was supposed to be like a space food truck.
Oh,
and that
okay.
they were dropping off supplies. So they're all kind of clustered in the same area. What is this?
I think that's the other open area bazaar.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, shops and stuff.
So then this over here, I don't know what this is.
That's actually for people that work there. I think it's a back entrance.
Okay, so I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I think this is between the two show buildings. So I think on the right side is the Smuggler's Run, and on the left side is the start of the Rise of the Resistance.
Okay. Let's see here if we keep zooming around.
Oh my gosh, look at this park. This is insane.
It's huge.
Yeah, so I think all of this pause, like all of this right here where you were talking about, I think that's all for cast members and behind the scenes stuff, yeah.
What is this then? Is this still a cast member thing, or is this...
No, that's the exit of the Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, okay.
You know that like piece of blown out ship?
Yeah, okay, I know where that is now.
Yeah. It's like part of a bigger spaceship or something, yeah.
Man, this is pretty crazy. Like when you see the scale of people in comparison, this is way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, same.
Mox Nick says, that looks incredible. And they say it must be blue milk delivery.
There's blue and green milk. Oh, for that, yeah. And if anybody in the chat knows, like on part of the spacecraft on the right side door, it says 77, and the other one says 84. Is that the year the first trilogy came out and the second trilogy? Is that... No, it didn't come out in 84. Is that the last year they came out?
It's the first and last movie, the original trilogy. Justin says, do you think that's sand or painted concrete on the ground level?
I'm thinking that they haven't put in the ground yet, because I think they still have a lot of vehicles coming through there, and I think they'll probably pave and put the ground in last. I don't think they'll do dirt because there's no way they can really clean it up.
Is there a single place in Disneyland that just has dirt? I can't think of
No,
any.
even Frontierland doesn't. I think it just becomes problematic with keeping things clean.
Yeah, it'd become a mess. Jake Bill says, I hope they have speeders cruising through the streets. There's going to be droids. We know that.
I believe there's going to be... Oh my God, man, I'm getting too crazy about this.
And let's see. That looks incredible. Do you think it's sand? Let's see what you guys are also talking about.
It would be awesome if it was sand, but I think that's just going to be problematic.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Okay, pause it again. Here's that other exit.
Right here.
And I think over at that exit, like right where you can't see off the screen, to the right, on the right bottom is where that Big Thunder Railroad is.
Okay, I guess you can kind of see the start of those red stones.
Yeah, it's starting to theme, with the Big Thunder rock.
I don't know why, but I have such a hard time picturing this. Like, even with these aerial views, I have a really hard time picturing where this actually lays in the park, because this exit to me, where that Big Thunder is, seems so distant from the other entrance over here. And I know it's huge, but, like, I don't know. For some reason, I just can't, like, mentally picture it.
Yeah, it's 14... Well, I think it's because it's 14 acres. It is pretty massive. I would like to see a comparison to some of the other lands, like Fantasyland or Tomorrowland or those, because I have a feeling this is bigger.
I'm also not sure what the biggest, like, area in Disneyland is.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably, I always want to say Frontierland just because of the big lake and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of, I don't know.
Okay, now we're getting the other side of the Millennium Falcon.
Puts it in an interesting perspective.
Holy crap. This
is insane footage.
You know what's just going to blow my mind is when we're
Huge,
actually there and we get to see it from ground level, the way we're meant to see it.
Yes.
But see here, yeah, where you're at, that's where it's kind of out of focus, but that's where the transport is. So I believe that's where you go in to the show building, and then you come out through here.
This is a big ride then.
It's massive. And
no wonder there's speculation that it was going to take, like, what they say, it was going to be like 20 to 30 minutes long.
Yeah, and they said that there's 3 different show elements to it. So there's the dark ride elements, there's a simulator element, and then there's a walkthrough element. So you literally go through interrogation, you know, where they torture you to get answers and stuff. You literally get to walk through that area. So there is those 3 elements, and I think what is it? Yeah, then you go on to that dark ride trackless vehicles, and then you open up onto that boarding area with that massive what is that?
The AT-ATs?
Yeah, and the no, they're not there.
Or the hangar bay.
It's the hangar bay, yeah, where you get to see the First Order ships out in space, and then you get to see the one TIE fighter there and all the stormtroopers. Man,
that's gonna be so cool. I can't believe how gigantic this is, but it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is...
Yeah, and they have the other ship in there now.
So this is where, like, the Resistance is camped.
Yeah. So they have this little ship here in the lower left-hand corner, and then they have the TIE fighter. I mean, the X-Wing there.
Pretty cool. Wow, this footage gets really... I don't remember getting this close on there.
That's pretty epic. Yeah, that's the real deal, man.
I can't wait to eat my sack lunch over here.
If this came out in 79, when I first saw Star Wars at the age of, like, 13, I would have just... I'm already kind of losing my poop over this, but I would have just totally crapped myself.
Mr. Flip 564 says, Art, I got my art book today. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you, and thanks for ordering.
Enjoy.
Here's the path.
Oh, okay. Is this where you were?
Yeah, you can get all the way up to, or I walked all the way up to the train trestle here.
They got a gate, right?
Yeah, they have a big gate here right now. So, yeah, you walk along the rivers of America, and then you go underneath the train and then across over into here.
Well, these trees must be super thick, or I guess maybe you'd have to be on the really top level to see any of this, because I don't remember seeing any footage through the trees, seeing any of this like stuff.
It's all elevated. So the train trestle is elevated, and the park is lower. So you really can't see too much of the park from like Rivers of America and stuff, because this
is all raised anyway.
They said that Disney was built on a berm, so the perimeter of all of the Disneyland park is built on not on a berm, but there's a berm all the way around the park. And the reason they did that is, one, when they dug out all those rivers and stuff, like in Adventureland and this river here, they needed some place to put all the dirt.
Oh.
So what they did is they put it all the way around the perimeter and then built the railroad track on top of that. So also what that does is there's zero visibility from the park to the outside world and vice versa. So it's kind of like building a wall without building a wall. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty clever.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
So is this winding, because we were trying to figure out before if this winding area was the top of something, but it does look like it's a path.
It's a path, yeah.
So is that the path to that ride?
Yeah, maybe it's the beginning of the queue. Although I thought that the main entrance was right there.
So did I. That's why I was confused, because like it seems like you could go in here and just run up into the queue right away.
Yeah, and you know, with the 3 different entrances, now that I think about it, I think thematically you can get a different story depending on how you enter the park. So if you enter this section, you're more in the Rebels section. So then you're gonna, initially you're gonna feel more like you're, part of that group.
You're a rebel, yeah.
And then you get to experience the rest of Galaxy's Edge from that point of view, outward. But if you enter the far other side, the right side, then it's more the First Order side. So it's going to seem more militant and more, like stuffy and, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So this side will probably seem more clandestine and sneaky.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
And then the middle part is more the bazaar, the shopping area.
So maybe you're a local or a trader or something. In
right. So you're going to get more the initial Batu, like native Batu experience.
So this is where we were talking about that ship. I wish it would zoom out a little bit.
Right, but before that, that's Poe Dameron's X-wing,
which is pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out how you move through this. Okay, this guy's right here.
It's all built on a hill. You can see it all goes up, so that X-wing is up on a bit of a hill.
So is this inaccessible?
I think so. But going back, if you go back a little bit, see right here where the scaffolding is here? I think this is probably going to be the entrance.
Oh, okay.
So you're probably going to get to wind. See how some of this is open? I bet you'll get to see the X-wing and stuff from either an aerial position in here or somewhere behind the X-wing.
So you won't get to go up and touch it, but you can see it.
I don't
probably where it
think
is.
so. Yeah.
I was trying to see if this would move over because this guy's over here.
Because I don't see a way in and out of that little platform that the X-wing's on.
Yeah.
And I think, see how it's open here? So I think you go through here, Gesundheit, and then back through here.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah.
So you'll get a view of all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. And there's what Taylor was saying is the transport, the blue and gray.
We're zooming in on this guy.
I think, hey, how are you?
Oh, he is waving. Oh, no, is he talking on the phone?
I think he's just one of those people that talk with their hands. But it looks like they're looking up at us.
That's funny. The camera person's enamored with this person, but there's really not a lot to look at in this spot. Oh, they're adjusting their settings.
Yeah.
I guess even the professionals do that. They're going to use this to, like, get him fired for talking on the phone on the clock. Okay. Man, that thing is cool. I like how they actually put in glass and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Instead of just having it painted.
And these are all, from what I understand, they're all the right size. There's the other X-wing.
Mox Nick says maybe they do a show using Poe's X-wing.
Yeah, I think there is. The three main characters are in the Rise of the Resistance attraction. So Poe is in there, Rey is in there, and Finn. And they speculate that they're all not going to be like just characters on the screen. So they're all three going to be in different type of mediums, I guess. So maybe one will be a robot, one will be a character on the screen, and then the other one will be, I don't know what it would be. But these all look like they're on platforms, huh? Maybe they'll have photo ops. Maybe. Oh, this has stairs right here.
Oh, so you probably will walk up and have photos.
Photo ops with it, yeah.
I didn't notice the stairs until now. Dennis says Poe's X-wing was the one blown up in TFA or TLJ. Is that Luke's X-wing on the lake, which is the one we were just looking at?
Ooh.
I don't know. Wow. This is going to require a lot of walking to get from one end to the other.
This is a day, just hanging out here. Because there's the app stuff. Oh, Taylor. Oh, pause it. I found this out too. You know how they said like the Disney apps?
Yeah.
That link to stuff in the park?
Which seems like an essential, by the way. The Disney Play app.
Yeah, the Disney Play app. There's the other side to that entrance over here.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm kind of keep doing that is so you can get a reference on how this park will open up into the other park. The rest of the park.
Because it looks so cut off.
So here's that big platform right here.
Right here. Okay.
So see how the view you'd have of the...
Oh, wow. You're really high up, actually.
Yeah. You're up higher than this one here. The one that goes behind?
This park actually has a lot of vantage points where they really like take you up pretty high.
Yeah, you're going to get some crazy shots of these things. But that's what I was going to say. The app, when you go on Smuggler's Run, that each one of the adventures are different, right? So you have a gunner, you have a ship captain, right? You have 2 ship captains, 2 gunners, and what's the other? Maintenance? Or
yeah, maintenance. That's where they have to handle the repairs.
The
'cause
repairs.
If the gunners miss and you get hit, they have to actually do
right.
stuff.
Well, based on your app, I heard that when you get out of Smuggler's Run, that people in the attraction, not the attraction, but in some of the shops and stuff, they'll actually reference, like, I don't know how you're going to identify yourself, but if you identify yourself with that app, then they're going to know your score and stuff. So they'll actually talk to you based on your adventure.
They'll know what you did.
Yeah, they're just going to go, you know what? Maybe next time you'll be a better gunner. Yeah,
man.
you really, you almost crashed that ship. Or they'll interact with you based on the adventure you just went on. So that's pretty
so cool.
That's pretty cool. And I'm just predicting this right now, you guys. That's why, Taylor, we got to go on this thing early on. I think those are the things that are going to go away.
Yeah, because people aren't going to keep track of that for long. That's the stuff that's like first run.
Yeah, I think probably the first year, maybe year and a half, you're going to have that part of the adventure. After that, I think that all that interaction stuff's going to go away. Because it just seems like it's high maintenance, right?
It's a lot of work, and it's very personalized, and stuff like that usually doesn't last at theme parks.
Right. But I think that's pretty cool, right? Based on the app that you log, I guess somehow you're logged in when you go on the adventure.
You have like a profile that gets updated depending on what you do. It seems like a really cool experience. I definitely want to do it.
But people in the shops and stuff can interact with you. Like, man, you really botched that mission.
Everybody just spends the day giving you crap about being a bad gunner.
Exactly.
Let's see.
All right, stop for a minute. I just realized something.
The clouds are getting in the way.
Yeah, go back just a little bit. All right, I just want to. Okay. This water right here, that's ground level. If you don't think the elevation of this is high, look at the Millennium Falcon and relate that to the lower right screen. That is high off the ground. Just what you think is the ground level is high.
So everything must be like way up.
Yeah, because even the ground level here of the Galaxy's Edge itself looks higher than that water.
Yeah, I think it is, which is pretty... It's a cool idea, actually. It's a good way to set this up. Justin says, I bet they have BB-8 by Poe's X-Wing.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Probably they're going to have picture opportunities and stuff over there, I assume.
Yeah, I think the platforms, now that you said that, and after seeing the stairway to the one that looks more like Luke's X-Wing, they'll probably let you take pictures with that Poe Dameron one too, right?
Yeah, they'll probably have you... It'll be like a designated area or something. Because
the thing is, too, they almost look like they're pedestrian-oriented because it's a flat plateau, but it also has a wall around it. Why would you build a wall around it unless you're going to have people go up there?
Yeah, that's true.
So they don't fall off the sides.
Keep them from
toppling.
Getting too close to the edge.
Yes, let's keep going.
Man.
This epic journey has just begun.
They're getting up above the clouds now.
They're switching the POV, though.
But you can see the people walking.
Ooh, stop. There. Now you can really see the other entrance.
Okay, so I know where this is now.
So this is one here, and then there's one here, and this is where that restaurant was, Taylor.
So wait, this is the other one over here?
Yeah.
Okay, one right here, and then one way over there.
Way over to the left, yeah.
You can't see in this frame. So this is where Thunder Mountain is, somewhere over here, right?
Yeah, I think where the rocky one is, this one here, that's where Big Thunder is.
And is this that pathway that, like, if you're in Fantasyland, you go through?
Exactly. That's that path that takes you back around Big Thunder into Fantasyland. So this is what was always the path here. And then this is the new path that connects to it.
Okay, this actually seems like the best way to get into the park, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is because I walked down those sides when I was at Disneyland last.
Because, like, if we're going to get into this place and save time, I don't know if everybody's going to have the same idea, but this seems like the spot to go because you can, like, cut there real quick. Dennis says, I joined late. Is this a spy camera video stream?
We're spying on Galaxy's Edge.
We got an aerial camera set up. But that's the part that's most reassuring to me, is how wide these pathways are.
Yeah. And like they said, some of them are going to be very, very narrow, like little alleyways and stuff.
This one looks like way more narrow than over there. So there is like big spaces here than less.
Yeah. And I think they're doing that so psychologically you can feel like you're going into places you're not supposed to go into.
Man. This is so cool.
There's that. See how it juts out?
Oh,
That's that platform. Look at this. So you're going to be able to take great photo ops.
This actually... Oh, wait. I was going to say this doesn't look done, but I guess it just...
The only thing I just thought of...
From here, won't you be able to see...
I don't know if they're going to let you go... Wait a minute. Because there's nothing thematically over here. If you're up on that thing, you're going to just see the back lot.
And you'll probably see this.
Yeah, maybe...
So maybe...
No, this is up way higher, though, Taylor. You're not going to see this. Because this is lower than that is. But you'll see the upper right-hand or left-hand corner.
So maybe you go in and up, and then you're like in that...
Maybe I'm wrong, because I am speculating. But I was thinking, why would they build this big old platform here? Because look at the view.
Yeah, this seems like the ideal place to like get your photo, because it's in a flattering spot, too, where you see the front.
Of the Millennium Falcon, yeah.
Because if they were saying before, like, if you go around the back, that's where you can take your photos. So it's going to be the back of it.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool, but I think that deck over there would be a better vantage point. But I didn't realize, because when the camera was the other way, I didn't realize that opened up onto, the back lot area.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, so I could be wrong, but I don't know why they build that. That's a huge platform, man. These are people right here. That thing's massive.
And they have like a scaffolding, which I guess could be for the builders. I thought it was for
it looks like
pedestrians.
A built wall, though, like a fence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking.
But see, here's some of those little alleyways and stuff, and this back area where you'll feel isolated from the rest.
See, it looks like you're kind of sneaking in through the back, too.
And I think that's the black, what do they call it, black spire, or what do they call that?
Yeah, because there's a literal black spire for Black Spire.
Right there, but I think also right here is where that water beast is going to be with the one eye.
Oh, that's right. I actually didn't pay attention to where the main black spire is, because there's like multiple spires around here.
I think that was it. Wow.
Man.
They're way up there. Here's Toontown up here. Okay. There's where that the big Toontown amphitheater is, and there's Big Thunder. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the restaurant, I think, way over. No, that's not the restaurant. The restaurant is way still over.
Somewhere over here, right?
Yeah.
Off panel. Okay. So Water, Big Thunder, Fantasyland, Toontown.
Yeah.
Wow. But just look at the scale, because this is way bigger than Toontown, for one.
Well, look at it compared to Frontierland. So I still think Frontierland's bigger.
It's hard to tell, though, because the shape.
No, it's right there. Like, you can already tell.
But where's Frontierland end?
That whole thing is Frontierland.
Okay,
all of this is Frontierland. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, because it always throws me off, because the Galaxy's Edge is like long, but this is all.
I guess with the if you counted the show buildings as part of the 14 acres, then there is, but you're not gonna be able to walk around. You know what I mean? So if you go all the way to the street here and all the way around the train trestle, maybe it's the same size as Frontierland. But I was just counting the place, like where you could walk around.
Yeah, because
it's smaller than Frontierland.
Yeah, because I guess you're not going to really have free range.
Oh yeah.
Over here, as cool as that would be. Okay, I wish we could. This is
Frontier or Fantasyland.
Okay, so this is Fantasyland. Fantasyland actually looks a lot smaller than I thought it was.
It's pretty tiny, actually, but it goes all the way back to where It's a Small World is.
Okay, it's just a weird shape.
Yeah, it's kind of a it kind of because you can't have access because there's that storybook and the train ride and everything behind the Dumbo adventure, so you can't really walk back in there.
Yeah.
And so this is right here, that circle, that's the carousel, and then this is the castle shape right here. That little V shape.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so where your cursor is right now, that's the castle.
Right here.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's pretty darn big. It's a pretty good size.
Yeah, it really is.
But if you pause again, let's tear this out, the amphitheater, and let's tear out Toontown.
You know, what did they even use the amphitheater for? Because the only time I ever went there is I had a friend as a child that was doing a dancing competition, and they like hosted it at Disneyland.
Really?
And then I remember before that they had like a Pocahontas show that was absolutely terrible.
I think they have a Beauty and the Beast show there now. Yeah.
I thought they did the Beauty and the Beast show at the tiny one.
There's a tiny one?
Yeah, I remember that little princess corner. It's like right at the front over by like right when you get off Main Street as you're walking into
Oh, I know where you're talking about.
it's
Yeah.
super little and it always fills up. It's where the meet and greets are.
Yeah.
Cuz I know they have a little tiny theater right there.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right.
This is a good sense
No.
here.
Yeah, this is if you want to see how big Rise of Resistance is right here, okay? They can see your cursor, I hope.
Yeah.
This right here. Wait, let me get this right. Okay. Wait. Okay, train. I believe this is the show building for Indiana Jones.
Okay.
This is the show building for Pirates, and this is the show building for the Haunted Mansion, I think.
This one right here?
I think, yeah.
Whoa.
So the Rise of Resistance, I heard just that open area where the TIE fighter is, you know, the one that we were talking about, is bigger than the entire Pirates of the Caribbean attraction.
If this is Pirates, this is like double the size.
Yeah, it's a pretty big ride.
Wow. I wonder if this is their biggest dark ride. Because it looks pretty sizable.
I think it is. I'm trying to make sure that I got this right. So I think that's the Haunted Mansion, that's Pirates, and I think that's Indiana Jones.
I think you're right, because all the greenery and stuff, I think this is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Right up here.
Or it might be all that New Orleans Square.
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Hard to tell.
Where's Big Thunder? Not Big Thunder, but Splash Mountain.
Ooh,
That might be the Splash Mountain.
I thought Splash Mountain was
It's
over
maybe
here.
that Splash Mountain.
Oh, you know what? I think
So
this
maybe
Splash
that's the
Mountain.
show building for Splash Mountain.
So then this is probably
The Haunted Mansion.
the Haunted Mansion, and then
I don't think we can see pirates and all that other stuff.
no. Okay, yeah, because I think this is definitely Big
Those are
Thunder.
big buildings, though. That's got to be one of the dark rides.
I don't know.
Because you can see... That's got to be like the Pirates. Because you can see the
What
river
is this
from
right
Pirates.
here?
I think that's all the New Orleans squares.
Okay.
You know, all the
okay.
buildings and stuff, I think.
Okay, so this would have to be.
I don't know.
It's really hard to tell.
Let's keep going.
I think the video is going to come to a close, and I'm hoping they turn an angle a little bit, because there's Matterhorn.
Wait, okay, now pause. Okay, where's the train track? The train track...
Ooh, I don't know. I lose it somewhere over here. I can't seem to follow it any further.
Because I'm trying to figure out what all this stuff over here is.
I don't know. I was sure that this was Indiana Jones just because of how tucked back it is, but
Yeah, and there's
could
all
be
those
wrong.
trees right there, which is the jungle area. I think I'm...
Because is this the Jungle Cruise somewhere tucked in here?
I think so,
Where all
yeah.
the greenery is?
Yeah. So I think those have to be like the show buildings for the Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and what is it? Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's all clustered in that
But
area.
yeah, you can see the show building for the Rise of the Resistance.
This thing's massive.
Is really big. Yeah.
It seems like it's the biggest at this point.
Yeah.
I want to see if they turn, if we can...
Oh, that's
yeah,
it.
that's the end of the footage.
Oh my gosh, guys. I hope you got just as much enjoyment out of it as we did. That just blows my mind how amazing that that park is. So what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm in awe of how huge it is. I guess when we first started covering this, which was, it feels like a very long time ago, I had some hesitation because of how small the California Diagon Alley is. And I thought it was going to be similar to that because I really didn't realize how much space Disney had back there and how they were going to use it. So this kind of put that at ease. I didn't like, they utilized their space very well, and I think it was really smart that they stacked it up to accommodate all this stuff. I had no idea how like the real scale of these things until I saw people walking around like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to have more scale than any of the other parks, to be honest, because they also built it up. So as you look back at it, like from the front, I guess, part where the Rivers of America are, and you look back towards the attraction, the rides, it's going to keep moving up. So it's not just big, like a expanse of land, but it also goes up, and there's levels to it. So you're going to have different POVs, not just a flat POV at everything, but you're going to get to go up higher and higher. So could you imagine your view from the Rise of the Resistance? Is it no Smuggler's Run? I'm sorry, from Smuggler's Run. Especially if that deck is open that we were talking about, cool. Then you'll get to see a lot of the park from there as well. You'll get to look out at it.
Cryptic Collectible says you can take a look on Google Maps to see the size compared to the other sections.
Ooh,
that's not a bad idea.
We'll bring that into the next Walt's Vault.
It looks like it's the biggest as far as the dark rides are concerned. And they haven't done a big build like this in a really long time.
No, nothing that ambitious. I'm looking forward to Smuggler's Run, but to be honest, that Rise of the Resistance,
I know.
I just want to see how it all works with the 3 different show elements and stuff like that.
That's the one disappointing thing that we covered in the last Walt's Vault, is that they aren't going to have Rise of the Resistance open during the initial first month opening. It's only going to be Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
It's open, unfortunately, which is really cool, but I don't know. They're opening it early, but I kind of wish they would wait till both were open, to be honest.
Yeah, they're doing that soft opening with just the one attraction, and I'm not sure, to be honest, what the psychology of that is.
Me neither.
Because I think, well, they can get people in and out of the park quicker. You know what I mean? Because then, if indeed the Smuggler's Run is, like, once you go on that ride, then you have to leave the park.
Yeah.
So if that indeed is the idea, then it might make sense because they can move people in and out of the park quicker. You know what I mean? Because it's just one attraction.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me, actually.
Yeah, so people get to walk around, take in the park, and then go on the attraction. And then I don't know how they're going to get people to leave. They're going to have to do some kind of stormtrooper, like, keep moving. You got to leave now. Get out of here.
Because there have been rumors for a while now that you will only get to ride during this first month soft opening. You will only get to ride Smuggler's Run once.
Yeah.
So that would make sense that is kind of like your final destination after touring the area. If that's the case, we'll just hang out everywhere for a really long time and then end the day there.
Yeah, just take a ton of photos and never go on that ride. Just bring a lunch, like you said, and just hang out.
So they can't force you to leave.
But just, God, could you imagine trying to get the photo ops next to the X-Wings and stuff?
Oh,
the lines on those things alone is going to be pretty insane.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but pretty cool as well. Yeah. I guess probably the time to do that would be in the soft opening because there's probably going to be less people on that side of the park, the First Order or the Rebel side of the park. So
do you think everybody's going to rush to that other side?
I think so, because they're going to want to go on that ride. And that's also where all the shops and things are. So I bet some of the best photo ops for the ships and stuff will be on the left side. So if you were going, since that the Rise of the Resistance isn't going to be open, you could probably you'll get in to take your photo ops with the ships and stuff.
Yeah, hang
at
out
that
in that
point.
area.
Yeah, because there'll be less people.
There's a running theory on I think it's just themeparks.com or themeparkattractions.com, but they said the period where I guess the main streets of the shops and everything in Galaxy Edge is going to clear up is like a 5-month period, because apparently in Hogsmeade everything was packed for the first 5 months and then opened up within 5 months. So the rides in themselves had super long lines and everything, but actually, like, you know, mingling and walking around cleared up within 5 months. You could kind of freely take photos and stuff.
Yeah, so it's probably a safe bet, 8 months to a year if you don't want the crowds. But also, wasn't it that you said last Walt's Vault that the Pandora attractions are still 2 to 3 hours, the lines are?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they cite on the same website that everything clears up after 5 months, but then they say in the same breath that the flight ride in Pandora is still 2 to 3 hours long as a standard wait.
Yikes.
So it'll probably be the same for the rides in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
I think so too. So just between the two attractions, if it's 2 hours, that's 4 hours of line waiting. But the thing is, those lines are heavily themed, so there's a lot of speculation that it's almost just a complete extension of the ride itself. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna feel like it's all part of the same adventure. So it's not gonna feel. Hopefully, it doesn't feel like you're waiting in line. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds like you'll be entertained. I don't know about you. Are you more excited for the rides, or are you more excited just to hang out there?
I don't know what I'm more excited about. I'm an art direction guy. Like Star Wars, even when I was younger, I was like, wow. I didn't know what art direction was, but I knew that movie blew me away. So right after that, I started building like R2-D2s. Like, I was probably one of those first guys that was, building all that stuff, and 3PO helmets or like heads and just all kinds of stuff, building miniatures, like ships and like kit bashing, model kits and things like that. So I was one of those guys. And I remember at a young age, I went to, gosh, man, high school is the worst, where you go to the counselors, and especially if you're very specific with what you want.
They don't know what to do with
They don't know what to do, man. And I said, you know what? I want to build models and miniatures and sets for like Star Wars. And they're like,
join the army and you can draw schematics.
Yeah.
That's what I was told.
Well, what they told me is they're like, you should like sign up for like drama and like set building and stuff like that over at the local JC. And I was like, I don't think that's really what I want to do. But you know what I did, Taylor?
Did you do it?
I ended up doing it anyways. I had 2 years of prop design and lighting and stuff like that at the local JC for the theatrical,
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it was fun. I think it's all good. And I still have my lighting book, so some of the lighting still helps with drawing. I think all those experiences help with your drawing and your life experiences. So it was all good. But I just think, wow, that was a pretty far departure from like, building rocket ships for Star Wars.
Yeah, you would have ended up pursuing a career in this theater lighting.
Yeah. And the weird thing too is that those guys were building the templates for like Industrial Light and Magic at the time. Like, none of that stuff was even, there was no structure to it. Those guys were just making things up as they went along.
It was the coolest era of making movies, though.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And all the Super 8 movies that me and my friends made, we were basically just using it for excuses to like put M80s in the models that we built so we could blow them up. So we were doing like old, like, was it Buck Rogers serials where you have like,
oh, that's awesome.
You have the big cable, right? And then you have little pulleys, and then you have the ship kind of like sail across, and then you follow it along with your camera, and then it blows up midair.
I remember, I don't know, I was never like good with those kind of props. I liked like bigger size props, but you just reminded me of me and my friend tried to film a cop drama, and we went to go watch it on the video camera, and her brother had recorded over it, like making like a Lego movie.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
remember being like devastated.
It's a lot of work. Even as a kid, you're like, God, that was hours.
I know. It's like, we can never get it back.
I wonder what the neighbors thought of us. Like, we're in the backyard of my
Blowing
friend.
stuff up.
Yeah, he had like, man, where I grew up, man, it was like, it might as well been Skid Row, right? So it's a big backyard, but there's no grass. It's just dry brush in the middle of summertime.
Oh, no.
And we're like blowing shit up. We could have burned that whole neighborhood down, right? But could you imagine just like hearing explosions and stuff going on in your neighbor's yard and things?
Well, the kids are just making their sci-fi movie.
They're just making their... You know what? I don't think I don't think we ever had a shooting script. We never had like characters in it. We just basically would videotape things blowing up. That's all these movies were.
That's hilarious.
And then you watch them back and you're like, yeah, look at that. And then you play it slow motion. You're...
I mean, you can't mess up an explosion. Like, it always looks cool filming one.
We always wanted like that piece to come flying right at the camera.
It's like 3D.
Right, exactly. If we would have got what we wished for, it probably would have taken out that really chintzy Super 8 camera we had.
If only we could find them. That would be a good booming out loud if we convert them over.
Oh my gosh, I got to get in contact. They got it. They have to exist somewhere.
If anybody knows how to convert Super 8 film, short of us just like recording a recording, because that's always the advice I always got. Like, you record the recording itself, but I don't know.
Yeah, that might be the easiest way to do it versus convert something, because I don't even know if we have the technology. I don't mean that in a way that we don't have the technology. I just mean that it's hard to find technology.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Yeah, it's 30 years, 40 years old. You have to find stuff that can play those Super 8 films. I have some of those. Because I did take a film class in college, and so we did shoot little mini movies.
Sorry to interrupt. Chris Evans called you a young Michael Bay.
Yeah, I just wanted to destroy stuff. Like, I mean, if I could set fires, I probably would have. And you know all those guys that work for Michael Bay, right? That's how they grew up.
Yep, that was them.
Yeah.
And still is. Now they're just getting paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, we have video of my old band. We did like videos, because I think MTV just started. So we were shooting early videos like of my band and stuff too. So I have all that on Super 8 somewhere. But yeah.
That'd be very cool.
I don't know how to transfer that over. I'll have to make a call.
If anybody knows, let us know in the comments.
Yes. So we should start wrapping this up. But thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope you guys were just as blown away as we were. I'm a Disney fan, but I'm also like a Star Wars fanatic. So this is kind of a combination of two of my early loves. So I can't see this thing going bad at all.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. Don't forget to leave in the comments. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know if you're planning on attending when it's a first opening. Remember, the reservations are free, but not really, because you have to buy a ticket. And let us know if there's any Disney theme park news that we're missing out on. You can always send us a tip. All of Art's social media is in the description. We got the Twitter, we got the Instagram, and we got the Black and White campaign.
Yeah, check that out.
So you can still get a copy of Black and White. You can still get a copy of Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too.
Are we closing in on 59? Oh my gosh, I can't even... Is it 58 or 59? 58.
58, but... Yeah, it's been moving fast. It's pretty cool. Spread the word, you guys.
Yeah, so the book, we sold quite a bit of copies over the weekend. So yeah, if we can keep this going, it's going to be in the shop for probably the next month or so. And then we're going to have a big closeout party. So